think that the true cause of a lot of these late game collapses for Indiana is simply the fact that there isn't a lot of depth. And it's not the fault of anyone on the roster, right? The roster is young. And again, they've had injuries. Valentina Kadletsova elected to play professional ball in the Czech Republic, which just removes a level of depth to this team. Obviously, Sokan Guman's out with an injury. She's not the only one. And so from a bench scoring perspective, Indiana they don't have the depth to put enough players on the floor that can find success from a production and contribution standpoint. And yet still, they are at least competitive for a half a game, maybe three-quarters of a game. And again, I think this team just runs out of gas because of that lack of depth late in the half, late in the fourth quarter, in certain situations like that, which is going to mean that Indiana is going to frustratingly lose a lot of close games against quality opponents in the Big Ten, especially on the road. And that's unfortunate. And that, unfortunately is just going to have to be the way that it is for this team, I imagine. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's not the fault of anyone on the roster. You're starting multiple freshmen. Those freshmen are playing very, very well, all things considered. Just, that you can't ask those players to play almost an entire game and not get tired at all against, great opponents in the Big Ten Conference and be expected to play well enough to beat that team kind of on your own for 4 quarters. It's a difficult ask. It's a tall task, and it's one that Indiana may not be able to meet. Nonetheless, this is a building year for Indiana. This is a year where this group, it's unfortunate that it's Shea Chesky's senior year, and it's kind of a building year. But you have Sokan Guman, who's a sophomore. You have Lene Beaumont, who is a redshirt sophomore. So, a sophomore. Maya Makalewski starts. She's a freshman. Nevaeh Caffey starts. She's a freshman. All 4 of those players would be starting if they were all healthy. And they will be all starting at some point during the season. We'll have underclassmen starting in every single one, or all 4 of those positions. And then, Odessa Noyan, someone who still has years left. Chloe Spreen still has years left. I believe Journey Kyaku's a senior and will be leaving. But the majority of this team, and particularly the vast majority of this team's core, will return for next season and return for the season after that. So a lot of opportunities for this group to kind of build upon its success from this season and become a formidable threat in the Big Ten once again on the women's basketball side. I believe in them. I think there's a lot of quality here. There's a lot of greatness here. It might involve a lot of losing this season, as we've seen against Minnesota and Michigan State, and kind of the telltale signs that this group is just a step and a half behind many of the other contenders in the Big Ten. But it's going to be fun, and it's going to be worth paying attention to. It's going to be worth, investing time and energy and attention and respect into, because one day I believe this core is going to grow into one that's capable of making the NCAA tournament at the very least, and maybe doing much more than that, as Indiana women's basketball teams have been known to do in the last few years.